This is your sign to start your locks. This is your sign to stop playing with yourself in 2025. And here's why. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to start your locks and just get done with it. You hear me? Let me start off saying I am not a professional, but I am a professional at restarting my locks. I've started them 10 times. Yes, 10 times in the last 20 years.
Boy, stop. You ain't got shit going on.
So this set right here is a combination of comb coils and instant locks. Instant locks, I did use a crochet needle, but before we jump into all that, you need to know why you want to start your locks. Research on your hair texture. You need to do your research on what type of parts you want, because there's a plethora. I suggest you go to Pinterest and look up parts for starter locks. Also, look up hair types for different sizes of starter locks. Now, I am a combination of 3C, 4A, and B. So I had to do, in my journey of doing different types of restarting my locks, I've learned 2-strand twists will work for my hair because it's a combination hair. Braid locks would have made, because I've learned what my density is, braid locks just would make it too thin. Tried to go bigger. Bigger is cute, but because my hair gets really thick, but I don't like, I miss the fullness. So this set, which seems to be my favorite set, I'm even rocking them short. I have way more, which in return, let me spin around, gives a more fuller look. First things first, before you jump into, well, Courtney, I don't know what I should do. First, you should decide on just getting locks. Just start. Just, if you're a DIY person, look up the yearly cost of having someone else maintain it versus you maintaining it. Also, research. I'm going to say these things are researching because I'm a person that you should do the research on your own and not believe what everybody tell you. So you should also research good natural products that won't cause buildup later on. Away from beeswax, stay away from any waxy substances, and stay away from things that don't have water first in the ingredients. Because then you know later on down the line, if you get to 10, 15, 20 years, you won't have all that nasty ass gunk at the end. After you've researched what type of parting system you want, how big of a part you want, and what products, now you need to, for inspiration purposes only, find someone who has your hair texture and use that as inspo. Me, I'm anal about not being anal, meaning I'm OCD about not being OCD. So my parts are majority random. I don't want square parts. I feel like that'll just grind my gears later on. So, and again, 10 times is a charm. I've had square parts. I've had circle parts. I've even had diamond parts at one point. Circle, like random pull, basically parts have always worked for me. Now, my front, I did start this set with locking stitches, so they were a little bit bigger. So after I took my locking stitches out, I made my part smaller. So you do see a little uniformity up front, but I changed all that. After you have done your research on parting, your density, how many you want, what type, how do you want to start it, i.e. you can do instant locks. That's what I've done. You can do 2-strand twists, you can do comb coils, you can do combination like I did. Start off with a comb coil and then go back in with an instant, with a crochet needle. You can also do braid locks, you can do freeform, you can do pull with the sponge. There's many. Look at someone who has your hair texture and go from down that rabbit hole of what you want your locks to look like. Now, it is only inspiration. Nobody locks look the same. So now you got your key things you need to start with. Now you need to decide on, are you going to be a person that is, oh my gosh, I need to have a different hairstyle every 2 weeks or every week. This is not going to be for you. Now, you can style your hair every 2 weeks, but changing the parting, having to have a fresh retwist, all that, no. Then take a step back, get those styles out of your system, and then circle back. I tell you, after you do those first few things to jumpstart your lock journey, you're going to be smooth sailing. I, from personal experience, suggest instant locks. It takes away from the worms. It gives the look of, oh, there are locks on her head and they're looking like they're trying to mature. I also suggest that if you're thinking about, oh, I might go through the ugly stage, I don't want my hair short, let me give you something. Even if you start off with your hair right here, them things gonna draw up to about right here. That's gonna piss you off even more. Start off short like me. I started off even shorter. I may throw a picture somewhere in here, and I ended up feeling self-conscious. I put lock extensions in, kept them in for about a month or two, and I was like, you know what? Let me grow out my own. And that's where I'm at right now. So you're moved and you've been collecting pictures of people with locks, and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to start my locks. This is your sign. This is your sign. This is your sign. Comb coils, instant locks, find the right products, find out if you have a trusted source to start them for you, or do like me, scoop and comb coil and go. There's plenty of YouTube videos to do that, and if you want me to do it, I'll drop one in here too. I'll show you what I do. I go to the hair store, get a certain twist comb. They sell them now. Didn't have it when I was been combing through. And you can just use a rat tail scoop, use a mirror, scoop, and then comb coil. I've used the mousse. I may have the mousse somewhere in here. No, I do not. So it's a softer hold. And then I went in with this. So I am basically about a month in with this set. Technically, some has been in for two to 3 months. So it just matures faster, but I still have to go through the process of the fuzziness, the dropping, things like that. Y'all, I went to work out, so excuse the length. But as you can see, if you see me on the street, you'll be like, oh, she got locks. Now, versus starter locks, if you like that look and want to do the do-rag, by all means, go on ahead and do it, which leads me to my second thing. Get you something to tie your hair down. I sleep with a bonnet. Now, when my hair, when I first was twisting it and it was about right here from root, right here, I slept with a do-rag. The reason I'm sleeping with a bonnet now because it keeps that bend in my hair, and I don't like that because I grew out my back. I used to have like a high top, but I grew out my back, and I don't want it to have that bend. Even if I took it up, like tied it under, I have my hair cut in like a mohawk shape, it's still gonna bend the one. So I just sleep in it with the bonnet. I also have a silk pillowcase that you can order from Amazon. Because I've ever had my locks for was almost 2.5 years, but I've always restarted because I got anal about the parting, or I didn't like how thick they were gonna be, or I probably started too big and I wish I started small. The process that I'm doing right now is starting small, deal with it while I'm getting out, because I feel like the shorter it is, the shorter your hair, the smaller the locks, it gives a style versus the bigger. That's my opinion. But I love thick locks, so then when I want to go bigger down the line, I can just combine. That's how you do. Because normally, if you start off big, you're gonna have to split and start the process over. And if you don't like to combine, depending on how you did it, if you did crochet or 2-strand twist and just let them knock naturally, you can just undo it. This is not permanent. I don't care what nobody say. Locks are never permanent. I've combed them out. I've even helped comb out other people's locks that had them for like 5 or 6, 7, 8 years. At that point, you can't say they starter locks. They're matted, and it just takes time. So I also highly encourage, if you don't like how they look, and start over. Shit, it's your hair. So this is your sign. I basically told you a really quick way on how to get started. Find you a loctician if you don't want to do it yourself. Get you something to cover your hair. Research on products that have water first, so you know you're not going to have buildup. Research the density of your hair. Do the test. It's on Pinterest. Research how big or small you want your hair. Save other folks' locks for inspiration, so you're not saving a 3A person hair when you have 4C. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Save what your hair type is. And then, what's this? We're on number 7 already. Decide on parting, if I haven't already said that. There is a plethora of partings. If I missed something, drop it down below. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. It was a crash course really quick. But if you want me to go deeper into something else, or do with all 10 locks I've had, let me know too. Again, this is Court Taught You, and I hope you learned something today. Peace.